Hi. So for those of you guys who don't know, I do have a book club, and for October my community voted on Bonesmith by Nicki Pau Preto, which I thought was a good little spooky fantasy read for October. So let's talk about it, yeah? Bonesmith is about a ghost fighting warrior named Ren who has to travel into the haunted territory with her enemy to rescue a kidnapped prince. The first about 100 to 150 pages were actually honestly very confusing for me, mostly because it was straight info dumping. The author went into so much detail immediately and threw it all at the reader, like right away, about the world building and the magic system and the history of the characters and the world they lived in, that I was kind of left trying to process, and I couldn't process it quickly enough before more information was thrown at me, so not super a fan of that. I read the physical copy, so I had this map to go back and refer to when I was trying to figure out the world and how it worked and what they were talking about through all of this info dumping, but I cannot imagine trying to grasp this world and the first 100 pages. If I was listening to it on audiobook, I would have been left I honestly probably would not have finished the book. I also wasn't really a fan of the main character Ren at the beginning of the book. I thought she was too impulsive and really self-centered, and she annoyed me quite a bit at times, so I was really hoping for a major character arc from her, which we did get a little bit towards the end of the book, and I think we'll get even more of it in the second book. I also really enjoyed the take on necromancy and the undead in this book. It was very clearly obviously inspired from the White Walkers and Jon Snow in Game of Thrones, but even still, while it took in a lot of inspiration from that, I still thought it was original and unique in its own right. I also really loved the interactions between Ren and the main love interest Julian, and I also loved the prince's character Leo, who reminded me a lot of Cardan from The Cruel Prince, with his elaborate outfits and makeup and the drinking and partying. I loved his personality. He had a fun, flirty personality that brought a little bit of humor to the book, where Ren and Julian are a little bit more serious. And I actually think that Julian and Leo, not the main characters, I guess Julian's the main love interest, but Leo's a side character, and I think him and Julian were tied for my favorite characters for the book. This book is not heavy on romance. There is some romance, but it's more of a subplot. There's some tension, there's enemies to lovers, there's some slow burn romance, but it is not the main plot of the book, so, which is not a bad thing for me. I don't mind that at all, but I know that some people really want a lot of romance in their books, so if that's something you're looking for, you're not going to find it in this book, but it's still a very good book. It also is a young adult book, so there is no spice. I actually wasn't sure what to rate this book at first. It took me a couple days to try to figure it out, just because the first 100 to 150 pages, like I said, were so slow and quite confusing for me, but I did end up enjoying the rest of the book quite a bit, so I ended up rating this book 4 out of 5. For November, my community voted on Where the Dark Stands Still, and I've heard really great things about this one. I've actually been wanting to read it for a while, so I'm glad this will be my chance to do so. If you want to join book club, we do it through Discord. The link is in my Instagram bio, which is @SkyReads. You can find me on Instagram, Discord, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Threads. I think that's it. Anyone and everyone is welcome in the Discord server. We talk about books, we talk about writing, we talk about all things fantasy. So even if you don't want to join book club, but you just want to come chat and hang out, we'd love to have you in the server. And I actually am going to start doing a choose your own adventure type story in the server, where members of the server can vote on where the story goes next. And then I'm also going to be doing something new called collaborative writing in the server, where I will post a writing prompt, and then each person will have the opportunity, if they want to add the next couple of sentences in the story, and it will just keep building on as members write out the story. So I have a couple fun new things coming up in the server, so if you would like to join and see what that's about, I hope to have those out within the next week or so. And that's all. Bye!